2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Okay, ready?
59! Mike's 59!
Come on, dude! Snap!
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, Alpha!
Check 59! Mike is 59! Mike the 59!
Shoot!
Now a handoff looking right. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Jones. Got his target, Samuel. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Breaks down, Travis.
Check 3! Check 3! Hatchet!
Bravo!
Check 7! Watch twist! Watch twist! Let's go!
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get up.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go!
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On third and long, it's Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The end result, 21 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
53 is the mark. Look at me. Score. Score. Snap.
On first and 10, it's Lindsey. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Throwing his Locke on third down. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
18 Gator. You don't know no better. Shit.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. Well, now Lindsey lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Set. 10-2 saw. Hey, lock it. Whip. Ready?
They'll run on first down. It's Evans. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
Brings up third and 7.
Ready. 60 outlaw. Bring it. Keep gripping.
From the gun on third down, Locke. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Deshaun Hamilton, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Brings up second and 4.
Let's get it.
At the 42-yard line.
Hey, shoot.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
60 or. Chopper!
What you got, baby? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go.
Now Jones from the gun on third down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Let's go. 8, read.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
You draw closer.
Check, watch it.
Shoot.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him.
Jones pass. Complete to Terry McLaurin. A 6-yard pickup. Brings up second and 4.
Down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
Check right.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
All right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it third down.
Here we go. Set. 30 base.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
The throw right sideline here is complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and 3. At the
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now they try the right side here. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Ready. 18 Gator.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Carlson able to put this one through. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On the
Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Here's Locke. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
50, play.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
On 1st down, Lindsey. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
Watch the twist.
Get it.
Now a give, right side. Evans. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the... And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
In your face. Check it back, check it back.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber. Hey, exit.
From the gun on third down, Jones. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Not today, you are. Not today.
They'll run on first down. It's Evans. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's see what you got.
Here's a give to Lindsey running right. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Mike 53. Here we go, see?
80 weapons.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Lock going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Ready.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
6-6. Pull it high. Snap.
Throwing Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Come on, set.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Move.
Mike's 59.
Here's Jones, operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
61, matchbox lights. Get it.
Now Jones. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Cleveland Farrell. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 16.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 16.
Check 9, check 9. Ready?
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Down. 60 or.
Here we go, G. Get off the field. Check 26, check
13. Spell. Be crippled. Be crippled.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the
Recon. 132 fighter.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And on that last drive, Went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got to.
And the Raiders have got him. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Locke to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Locke, and he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The rookie first-rounder Jonathan Abram there to knock it away. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now Locke. And that will be incomplete as well.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Locke going to go on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Rock, Sleep River.
Now a handoff looking right. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Sam off.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Down. 70, Indy. 6 Bridgestone, Travis.
Check 13. Check 13.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Oakland, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.